Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. Are you looking to break away from sugar addiction but fearful of those crazy withdrawal issues? Well, I'm going to share some powerful tips for you today. Stay tuned. Hi, my friend Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, The Power of Possibility, Passion, and Purpose. And we're going to talk about that challenging, addictive habit that's hard to break. Wouldn't it be better just to have empowering ones, right? So before I get into the stuff about sugar, I want to point you into something I'm really excited about, I'm passionate about, and people have been getting a lot of value. It's about empowering habits, and I created a free cheat sheet that's got people just doing really great empowering rituals in the morning. It's called Morning Success Habits, and you can actually get it for free. Download at morningsuccesshabits.com. I know you'll love them. You'll find them valuable. There's probably about 5 or 6 of them that I think they're super simple and make all the difference in how you start your day. So morningsuccesshabits.com is where you can download that. So let's talk about the sugar habit. Sugar is everywhere, right? But I don't know if you've ever done like a sugar detox or totally eliminated it from your diet, or the best you can. I know how hard it is to break a habit, because I used to be a 2-pack a day smoker, and I would try to wean myself off. I tried hypnosis, I tried cold turkey, I tried quite a few different things, and eventually the patch is what brought me success. But it was really, really tough, and I think people face that when it comes to sugar. There was a time where I was actually in a test group for a product, and it had you eliminating sugar and dairy and a few other things, coffee and stuff like that, caffeine. And I found that there were some withdrawal symptoms that were kind of aggravating, but there were some ways and some tips that I'm going to share with you today that actually made it a lot easier to get through than I think it could have been, right? But when it comes to sugar, and maybe I've shared this with you before, the average American consumes about 140 pounds of sugar yearly. 140 pounds. And so we're not talking about just the table sugar and stuff like that. We're talking about how sugar is infused in a lot of products. If you've seen a couple of the past podcasts I've shared with you, I show you how to read nutrition labels, and to look for the additional sugars that are in there. Some of the stuff that's just healthy out there, sugar's added to it. And there's a number of studies out there that, show the impact of sugar on the brain, and that it can act as just the way addictive substances like nicotine, cocaine, morphine do, the way those do. But there's some symptoms, mental symptoms when you're breaking away from sugar, like you might face some depression, anxiety, changes in your sleep patterns, maybe brain fog. I know I experienced this when I've broken away from a few things that I was addicted to, like nicotine and sugar. You might even find yourself craving carbs. And there's some physical symptoms too, like a headache is the most common, lightheadedness, dizziness, nausea, tingling, fatigue, stuff like that. So if you stick to a sugar detox, you could probably, I think it took me maybe about 5 days. There's been some research out there that say it takes about 10 days. So during that time, you're gonna have have some stuff that you got to deal with, but there's some ways to beat the side effects. So here's some tips to beat those withdrawal symptoms as you are, I guess, detoxing from sugar. So here's some tips. One is just to go cold turkey. That I find it works best. It didn't work for me on my nicotine stuff, but it can when it comes to sugar, as opposed to weaning yourself off, because I think it's probably too easy to just go back and add things in. So quitting cold turkey is one of them. Eating more lean protein is another. Increasing your daily fiber. I'm always adding fiber because I've got digestive issues anyway. So I add fiber to a lot of stuff. But if you increase your daily fiber, I heard that can really be helpful. Drinking more water. I tell people to strive for a gallon a day anyway. The minimum is supposed to be half your body weight in ounces. So strive above the minimum. When you drive, you don't typically try to drive right at the speed limit, do you? You go a little bit above. So do that with your water. Avoid artificial sweeteners. I've heard stevia is okay, but the other stuff like Splenda and saccharin and the stuff that's unequal, might be, I don't know what it is. Get rid of those things. Manage your stress. Exercise. I'm a big proponent of that. Adding extra greens to your eating, and getting enough sleep. Those are going to be powerful for you when you implement that as you go through your sugar detox program. I think that will set yourself up for success. So then I think you're gonna notice more energy, a little bit more clarity. You're going to feel better. You're going to feel less bloated. There's probably a whole bunch of other things if you just Google it. But using those tips, it's going to minimize the symptoms. And I think you'll feel a lot better as you go through it, and to get yourself to that day 5, 6, 7 time frame. And then you will know what it's like once you break away from the sugar. So anyway, and if you like those tips, and you found them valuable, please pass them along. And as a reminder, don't forget to head over to morningsuccesshabits.com, download my free cheat sheet. You'll absolutely love it. Once you start applying those things, you're going to go, wow, I wish I would have been doing those all along. I know you'll find them valuable. Thanks for tuning in, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.